right, everybody. Welcome to the May 9th, 2023 Delta Amateur Radio Club meeting. Just a few reminders before we do introductions with housekeeping. On the break, if you have not already, please make sure that you sign in on the roster over here so that way we know who's here and who's not. And then also, again, don't forget to put your name and call sign on the ticket, one apiece, to put it in there so that when we do our drawings in November, you have a chance to win something really cool. And then one more thing before we do introductions. So one thing that we want to start trying to do before each meeting is recognizing some of our new members. So I know as we get to as we start back into in-person activities and everything, I know there's a lot of folks here who have been coming here for years, but because we weren't meeting in person for a while, they might seem like new faces. So especially for our new faces, we want to make sure to recognize those individuals. So if anybody has joined Delta Club as a new member in the past 3 or 4 months, do you mind standing? Any new members? All right.
Haven't joined yet, but I'm going.
Good deal. So thank you guys for joining, and I would like everybody who else is here who's been in Delta Club to maybe come find one of these individuals during a break or after the meeting, and that way we can, if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to seek any of us out, and we'll try to get you pointed in the right direction. So thank you guys for joining. All right, and with that, we'll do our regular introductions. So name and call sign. Pam, we'll start with you.
Okay. Pam, and it's KN4SLBN.
Bob, K4KWR.
Ned, KA4BLL.
Emmett, KI4KDR.
Donnie Thomas.
Matt, W2MGR, and Victor Oscar 2 Alpha Zulu.
David, KA4DF.
John, KO4CQS.
Dave, AD4Q.
Dana, WI3B.
Joe, WA4OBO.
Johnny Mac, KG5YMI.
I'm Bobby, KD5BS.
Ray Snodgrass.
Jason, KO4DOH.
John, KM4BBH.
Bob, KO4ZCJ.
Al, NP4AC.
Tommy, K4BOZ.
Jose, KJ4TCJ.
Steve, KK4BPT.
Ham, W4GMM.
Bill, KK4VPS.
David, Whiskey 5, Delta Juliet Whiskey.
Rick, N0KYN.
Rick, WA4UPU.
Joe, KG4CZH.
Barry, W5CJ.
Tom, AC5MR.
Richard, K4DXF. Joe, KO4WAR.
Janet, KN4FBI.
Dan, KN4FBJ.
Randall, KY4NY.
Jim,
KG4TCE.
James, KQ4GGX.
Scott, KM4PMU.
Harry, November 4, Golf Juliet.
Jim, KD4FUU.
Paul, KY4NX.
And Mary Jean, KY4FB. All right, so thank you, everybody, and again, welcome. So now we're going to proceed to vote on the Secretary's minutes and Treasurer's
Make a
report.
motion, we accept the minutes and the treasurer's report as published in Spark. Second.
All right, so Hen Hilliard, we got a motion to accept the Secretary's minutes and the Treasurer's report as published in Sparks. We have a second from Dan, KN4FBJ. Is there any discussion on this? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, likewise? All right, the motion unanimously passes. So we will start off with the VE update. I think Bob already left, so Joe, would you like to give us an update?
Pretty
We had one tech W54 YNP upgraded from tech to general, and that was all for tonight. You want anything, training or?
If you would want to do it.
Training, trying to put together, or putting together a tech class to start the first or second Monday in July for 6 Monday nights from 6:15 to 9:30. They will be 5 of the classes. The first 4 and the last class will be at the police Appling Farms precinct at 6850 Appling Farms Parkway. The 5th class, which is the review of the FCC question pool and the exam, will be in this room. They were tied up at the police station, and we were able to get this facility. So if anybody is wanting to get their tech license, send me an email with the subject line tech class and your name, email address, and cell phone number, and send it to wa4ovo@gmail.com. And I'll be glad to send you information about the class and the materials. There's no charge for the class. If you want, the book that we parallel is the ham radio license manual, the ARRL ham radio license manual. I believe it's 5th edition. Is it 5th edition, Bob? I think it's 5th edition. And that's for the training. Want any more? Bus trip? Huntsville bus trip. Huntsville bus trip is August the 19th. We'll leave Germantown Baptist Church at 6:30 in the morning, getting back about 7:45, 8 o'clock at night. The fare this year is $99 a person. If it's paid by July the 12th. After that, it'll be $119. It includes the transportation, the $15 entry fee to the Huntsville Ham Fest, 2 breakfast biscuits of ham or sausage, water and sodas on board the truck, the bus, as well as cookies and crackers, like we have here tonight on the table. I spoke with the gentleman that I coordinate the bus backing up to the rear loading dock, and he told me that the concession stand at the Von Braun Center is only taking credit cards. They will not take cash at the concession stand. So that's something for people to be aware of. But we'll be glad to take a check for $99 and specify what biscuit you want and your email address and call sign, and we can get you down for the bus starting tonight.
Any questions for Joe about the upcoming class or the Huntsville bus trip? Thank you, Joe. And who was it again that passed tonight or upgraded tonight to general?
WY4 YNP.
Is he still here?
No.
Okay. Well, if you see him or hear him on air, be sure to congratulate him because I know that's exciting. Something else with that kind of ties into testing. We had this listed in Sparks. For those of you who don't know, the Ham Test Online. Ham Test Online is going out of business on June 30th, 2023. So if you are in the practice testing, okay. All right, so if you have been studying and you have been using the Ham Test Online to get ready to upgrade your license, keep in mind that's out after June 30th. So unless somebody decides to purchase it, that service will end at that time. So if that's one thing that you're relying on, consider doing that real quick. And I think that they're still selling the short subscriptions, if you're interested in trying to do that, to come to one of our test sessions maybe next month. So keep that in mind. Something else that was listed in Sparks, and then you should have all also gotten an email about this. ARRL sent out a survey. I know last fall at Huntsville Hamfest, they talked about how they were concerned with the budget numbers. And I think we talked about that briefly here, and that's why they've been trying to push the club commission. That's why they've been pushing some other programs to try to really drive membership. But it kind of seemed like they were hinting that they were thinking about a membership fee increase. And that's what this survey is for. So if you do have to be logged in to your membership account on ARRL to fill out that survey. If you would like to see what the survey says, I printed out a copy, but again, you have to be logged into your ARRL account to be able to do that survey. So it looks like I took that today. It looks like they're proposing maybe up to a $10, $15, $20 increase for the year. They were also talking about maybe phasing out the print version of the magazine where you could pay for print but continue to get it digitally. And there were plenty of options for like some feedback and whatnot. So whether you want to, I don't know. Either way, whatever you think about it, if you're in ARRL, I would encourage you to log on and fill out that survey because it's kind of like what they say every time election comes around. If you don't vote, it's kind of hard to complain. Because here's your chance. They're asking for feedback. So this is your chance to give it.
Takes about 15 minutes.
Yeah, it takes about 15 minutes. You could probably even do it in less time than that if you were quick about it. I took some time to fill in some comments, so it took about 15 for me as well. But you could do it in a few minutes if you wanted to without even commenting. So it doesn't take long at all. And it's critical because it has to do with what we pay for dues. So I'd encourage you to not wait. The deadline to fill that out is May 31st. So you only have a few more weeks left to do that. Field Day. It's right around the corner. Next month, it's going to be June 24th to 25th. We have a planning meeting this Thursday. So anybody who was interested in doing a station, you should have already gotten an email. But we're going to be meeting at the site, Germantown Municipal Park, which is where we held it last year and the year before. So we're going to have a planning meeting this Thursday. So hopefully we'll have some more information to come out after that. And we can fill in some details for you guys at our next meeting. But the planning meeting is this week. And field day is the 24th and the 25th. And then we are going to be working with the other clubs in the area as well. So are you going to have an alternate site for field day? Do you want to share some?
Yep.
About that?
Anybody that doesn't want to go do that, we're going to have a partial field day out at the Millington Fire Training Academy. We'll be out there from noon Saturday till, well, we'll be out there before noon, but we'll probably work till middle of the evening. And so by then, everything's kind of quieted down a little bit, and we do it out there. We invite a lot of non-hams, people who are thinking about it and interested and so forth and so on. And so we don't operate all through the night because nobody wants to stay. Last time I stayed out there all night and I told them I wasn't going to do it again. So we don't do it. On the same note, Saturday is Armed Forces Day communications test. So anybody that has thought about it, we could sure use the operators. We'll be out there. I'll be there from about 7 o'clock Saturday morning, and we'll go until the activity dies down, usually about 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So if there's still activity then, we'll go till the activity stops. But I've got 2 stations. I need operators.
Thank you, Pam. Any questions for Ham about that?
The meeting to discuss on Thursday, What time is that?
Oh, good point. The meeting is at 6 o'clock at the Kiwanis Pavilion. So, and that's what I was also going to mention too. I know we took time last year to get some feedback. We're going to kind of go, or I'm going to go through that feedback to see and maybe mention some suggestions as they're appropriate. But if you are interested in getting involved with Field Day, we cannot do some big extravagant thing if we don't have enough help to do it. A lot of times we're struggling just to get somebody to work stations, and there's probably some stations still that we need to get filled. So if you have any interest at all in getting involved with it, this is a great way to get involved. Something else is that if you might want to get involved with the station, but you don't know enough about it to do the whole thing, we can pair you up with the station managers, so that way, you know, if you want to have that overnight, or if you want to, you know, just kind of assist with setting up, that's a good way for you to learn how to set up the different stations and see how it goes. So it's a really great opportunity to get experience out in the field, and it's fun. So we'll have, I'm sure we'll do like we normally do, where all the clubs will pitch in to provide food for different meals. And we'll look and see and trying to change that up just a hair this year if we can.
Well, the
but-
go-to stations are great. If you don't have
Yeah.
your general and you've never, or you've never done HF, that's exactly what that station is for. Is
And I think next month we're gonna cover logging, right? So next month we'll do logging, yeah, which I know that some of you guys will probably could sit here and give the program yourself, but I know for everybody who hasn't done the programming yet, it's a good time to learn about how to handle that and everything, so.
We'll talk about contesting as well. So.
And we'll talk about contesting as well, so. So yeah, so a couple people with who had suggestions last year, if you're interested in getting involved, we can use the help.
Now, you said that was at the same park, or you
In the
said?
same park.
Okay, because
So-
I'm not familiar with, you said
Yeah,
Kiwanis. I
so
didn't know.
6 p.m. This Thursday at the Pavilion. It's called the Kiwanis Pavilion. I think it's they paid for it or whatever. But at the Pavilion is where we're going to meet, and then we'll kind of figure out where all the stations will be set up. I'm sure it'll be pretty similar, but we still like to confirm where all the stations will be set up, who's got what equipment, things like that. So if you have any interest at all in getting more involved, that's a great time to come. Or if not, you can email me or call me, and we can get you some more information as well.
You know
But
where it is.
good question.
You know where it is.
Any other
Yeah,
questions
I
about
went
field
to
day
that.
for either site? And again, even if you don't come, if like you're up in Tipton County or on the northern side of Shelby and you don't want to make the drive to Germantown, we really would love to have you. It'll be worth the drive, but go over to Millington and visit with him and that crew, because something's going to be better than nothing. And who knows, you might end up talking to some of us on the radio at some point. So we'd love to have you out.
Yeah, if I can get enough operators, we'll stay all night.
There you go. There you go. Let's see. Does anybody else have any other anything they need to discuss for announcements or whatnot? I think that's everything. Okay. Well, we are going to take about a 10-minute break, and then after the break, Bobby is going to cover. Okay.
One item, by the way.
Yeah.
I did bring some DMR radios. I know that that's been a topic for some of you guys. So I did bring a laptop, and I'll try my best. I'm not an expert with all these different radios, but we're trying to see if we can get folks.
My microphone voice, well, there you go. We're trying to, I did work with Jack Parnell. I heard that he went silent. So I'm really sorry to hear that. I got a chance, I was super lucky to work with the guy. He Elmered me in ham radio, and I worked with him on the radio, so I'm awesome with that. I actually worked with several hams at that network. But DMR, there are affordable ways to get on DMR. And I've heard a lot of myths and tales. You know, John did a great presentation about DMR. And you guys know a lot more than me probably about all this stuff, but there are affordable ways to do DMR. It doesn't have to be complex. There are simple radios. This radio is $17. Okay? Yeah, it only does 2 watts, but it's $17, and now you don't have to go through a reflector or anything else to talk to the National Weather Service during weather events. If you only did it for that, I think that's worth it. Does anybody here know Rick, K4JIT? So, thank you for all you guys do. I don't know everything about all this stuff, but I will try really hard to help. But that is a way forward, I think, for getting people onto digital, new people, and learning something, and it doesn't have to be hard. If you're having a hard time with it, come find me, I'll help you, or I'll find somebody to help you, okay? DMR is a confusing thing, or it's expensive. Somebody's told you it's expensive and hard, it's not. We can figure out a way. This might not be your favorite radio, by the way. My buddy Dan hates this radio, but I mean, you know, it's our little joke. We joke about it like, hey, that thing shouldn't exist. And maybe it shouldn't, but it doesn't have a contact list. It doesn't have a big LCD display. It doesn't have any touch screen. It's just, you know, push the talk button and a channel up and down and volume up and down, right? It's easy. Everybody understands that.
I have an EM5 but that's a word.
Yeah. This one's another one I brought, which is a Radioddity DV25B. There's other variants of this. I'm not paid. I did buy this myself, but I have it for show because you can kind of see some of the stuff that's out there. This one's about, I think it's around $200. But it is a full VHF, UHF. And there's other ones that, you know, are better. Everybody's gonna have their favorites, but it comes with the mic and the mounting bracket and all that stuff, and it's actually really cool. It gets you on your analog stuff, but it also does DMR, and it's not hard to program. It does 25 watts too, and it's kind of teeny. I mean, it's like the size of, the whole radio fits in that box, okay? You get what I'm saying? So like, there are easy and affordable, not expensive ways to get on radio, whatever your budget, whatever your power requirement. So, thank you.
Thank you, and that's a good point. So, like he was saying, I finally started learning about DMR a few months ago, and I mentioned something, I know when I did, but it honestly took me pairing up with an Elmer to learn how to program it. But whether it's DMR or whether it's your home station, because I know right now with the Delta Club Nightly Information Net, we are currently meeting on 443.700, the W4BS repeater. So the 440 repeater instead of the 82 repeater. It has a plus 5 megahertz offset, a PL tone of 107.2. It might be a while before we get back on the 82. So this is a great time to dust off your handhelds, and if you don't have it programmed and it's been a while and you forgot, don't hesitate to just give somebody a call, shoot somebody an email, and we can help you figure out how to program that frequency in so you can start joining us on the Nightly Information Net. So if you have questions about anything, even non-ham stuff, feel free to reach out to somebody, and if we don't know, we can get you paired up with somebody who does. So that's what ham radio is about. Great point. Anything else before we go to break? All right, yes.
So basically my school is doing like this field day thing, and my friend came up with the idea to use ham radio to the event. We asked around and got some positive feedback by staff and students. We have not gotten the principal's approval yet, but we do have some of the staff on board. I didn't know if there were like any volunteers, and I know this is really last minute. I believe it's next Thursday. If there are any like volunteers. Yeah.
What are you expecting the hams to do?
I figured they could like coordinate the event.
And what is the event?
Yeah, and like report back any issues or anything.
You said field day, so like that's where y'all are outside like playing games and stuff, right?
Yes.
Okay.
What school?
Carville Middle School.
How many hams do you think you need?
Probably maybe just one.
You're gonna have two.
I need more than one to be able to communicate.
Well, there is me and there also is my friend, so that'd be 3.
Okay, so a few people. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we could, so yeah, good questions. Any other questions for him on that? So during the break, if you think you might could spare some time on Thursday, or you want to get some more information, come see James and let's see if we can help him out. Do you know what time, what time does field day typically run for your school?
It's during the school hours, so school starts at 8, so I think it runs from like 9 to, I don't have exact times, but I can ask around.
Okay. When do y'all let out for school for the day?
3 o'clock.
Okay, so probably somewhere between like 9 and 2-ish. Okay. Yeah, that sounds like a good activity. Thank you, James. Any other announcements or anything? All right. Well, good. I like that idea because I know we always try to ask for ideas for different ways that we can help out, and you never know. And especially if it can help some of our younger hams get some use out of their radios in front of their friends. I know that's always an exciting time. So, but we're going to take a 10-minute break, and then in about 10 minutes we will hear from Bobby about Parks and Acres. So it's always exciting to see everybody getting together to solve problems and learn new things. So if I can get your attention, James mentioned that he's got something that he might need some help with. So I'm going to let him kind of tell us about what he's got going on with his radio. And if anybody here can help him, let's see if we can pair you guys up to fix this problem. So James, can you tell us about your radio?
For your mic? Yeah, I can. So I got this Yaesu mic at Hamfest, and it did not work because I have a Kenwood radio and they're not cross compatible. So I purchased this adapter cable that converts Yaesu to Kenwood, and it still didn't work. And I was wondering if anybody had a Yaesu radio that could test it out and see if it's the converter cable that's the problem or the mic.
You say you have a Kenwood?
Yeah, it's a Yaesu mic, and I have a Kenwood radio.
I got a Kenwood mic I can give you. I have a Kenwood best mic I'd be happy to give you.
Problem solved.
What kind of connector is on it? 8-pin?
Yeah, it's 8-pin.
8-pin round connector.
What's that?
You know, I just bought the MD90 mic, and it rotates around and switches in. It's got one cable that'll do both connections. I don't know if that one does or not.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I tried both ends.
Is that a Yaesu box?
Yeah, that's what he was saying. Do you happen to have a Yaesu radio?
I do, but I don't have one with that round connector on it. Most of the Yaesus are RJ45 or RJ11.
Yeah.
Well, and now this has the adapter on it, so is that what's under the adapter?
Yeah, what's under the adapter is also 8-pin.
Oh, it is also 8-pin.
Yeah, also 8-pin.
I have a Yaesu radio, I just don't have anything with that connector on it. I don't think I have an adapter that converts to an RJ45-ish. It's actually 45 or something. I figured, like a phone, you have to set bigger. I don't have one with.
I did hear an offer for a free mic.
Yeah, I have a couple Kenwood desk mics. My dad left me. I'd be happy to give you one. But yeah, if anybody, if you're thinking about it, and you happen to
radio though, to maybe help him learn how to troubleshoot this problem and figure out what the issue is. Come see him after the meeting and let's see if we can get him kind of helped out, and thank you very much for helping him as well with that. So, good to solve problems. All right.